Let's do car news of the week in 5 minutes. Ready, set, go. The first piece of news involves a potential new Nissan. So when the 370Z first debuted, I was literally still in middle school. It's been around for a decade and is desperately in need of a refresh. And after many years of rumors, it looks like it finally might be coming. The potential name for it right now is going to be the Nissan 400Z. It's going to be based off of the same platform as the current Infiniti Q60 Coupe. And in other big news, and the most exciting news, it will likely share the same 3-liter turbocharged V6 that's been found in the Q50 and Q60. The code name for that engine is the VR30, and that is a great little engine. It's essentially like a little baby GTR engine. It's proven to be very modification friendly. Even in stock form, it puts out good performance. But with some mods, they're making serious power. I've personally driven one that was making over 500 horsepower to the wheels, and they are pretty impressive. And the other big unknown / potential is if it will offer a manual transmission. So a couple years ago, Nissan brought this one-off concept to SEMA where they took a 370Z and they swapped in that VR30 powertrain but retained the car's manual transmission. It was a one-off build. It was actually pretty cool, but there have been other people who have done that swap in the rest of the world just independently, aftermarket shops. So it clearly works. So I think it's highly likely, and it's probably a safe assumption, that the next generation 370Z, codename 400Z, will get a manual transmission, which is a big deal. With power levels, I expect probably similar to the Supra, and the price hopefully will be a little less than a Toyota Supra, which will make it really competitive. So if you take the next generation of this car has a lot of history, a lot of different generations of the Z have been built, and you inject some new technology, a new drivetrain, a refreshed interior, it'll definitely bring some life and excitement to the brand, which Nissan absolutely needs. Moving on, we have a potential BMW i8 successor. So if you guys have followed me for a while, you'll know that I used to own a BMW i8 and I absolutely love the car. Now that the i8 has officially ended production, rumors have started to circulate about a next generation. And if they do a next generation i8, they could definitely address two of the main criticisms that the first gen car had. The first one is just the power. Given how exotic the BMW i8 looked, and especially given the price tag, the power that it made really wasn't enough. If you compare it to something like an Audi R8, Acura NSX, or even a McLaren 570S, it was absolutely down on horsepower. So if they were to upsize it from a 3-cylinder to a 4-cylinder and then upgrade the motors, electric motors, they could get it maybe closer to the 600 horsepower range, making it a lot more competitive. But you have to remember, the BMW i8 was never about pure performance. It was more a technology showcase, the carbon fiber tub, the hybrid technology. It was about efficiency. That was the whole i brand. That's why they never made an M version of the i8. That being said, more power in a car that looks like that, the top-end BMW sports car, will definitely be welcome. The second thing they could definitely address is the electric range. The first gen i8 pure electric range barely was able to get to like 20 miles, which is not that usable. So if they do increase the size of the battery pack with new technology for electric motors, it's very possible that they could also increase the pure electric range beyond 50 miles, which would be very useful. Again, as a former i8 owner, I would be absolutely excited to see a new one. You cannot fault the i8 for the tech it offered, the carbon fiber tub, the way that it looked like a spaceship, came from the future. Absolutely exotic looking car. I really love mine, and if they make a new generation, I would be absolutely interested in checking that out. Next piece of news involves a McLaren recall. So many supercars have been known to catch on fire. Early Ferrari 458s caught on fire. 991 GT3s from Porsche caught on fire. Aventadors had heat management issues and did catch on fire. And McLaren is now finally issuing a recall to deal with the fact that some of their cars also got a little bit toasty. Specifically, it's covering almost just over 2,700 vehicles, ranging from the McLaren 720S to some Sennas, and then the 570 GT and the brand new McLaren GT. And the reason is there's this foam pad underneath the fuel tank that can absorb moisture, which would then corrode the fuel tank, which causes fuel leaks and which could cause fire, which is definitely not a good thing. There's a recall out there to try to take care of that, which is definitely the right thing to do in that situation. Last piece of news is some motorsports related, and specifically DTM, the German touring car series is down to just BMW as the only manufacturer. Audi has announced that after the 2020 year season, they will not be participating anymore. The main reason they're giving is the fact that for future motorsports, they are focusing on pure electric ventures, which DTM is not. And then the other thing is due to the global pandemic, the entire series is on hold right now. Nobody knows if it's going to be able to continue on. But a couple years ago, Mercedes pulled out, leaving just Audi and BMW. And now Audi is going to be gone, so DTM is just down to BMW, and that was right on time.